Your operations are the heartbeat to your business. I created this podcast to help you balance your childlike innovation with parent-like efficiency. Welcome to Daily Ops Boost. I appreciate you guys listening in. We're 8 episodes in now. This is episode 8 of Daily Ops Boost. So I appreciate everyone that's listened so far. If you guys are enjoying the content, do me a quick favor. In podcasts, there's this little thing called reviews. If you guys could leave a review on the podcast, it helps us reach more people, deliver this value to more people, and allow you guys to get the operational help that you need. And also, it keeps me kind of motivated, right, to keep making these. But I'll keep making them regardless because I'm bullheaded like that, and we're just gonna keep making content regardless. Okay, so go leave a quick review on the podcast. Would appreciate it. I need to share with you today the truth behind lead generation. What do I mean by that exactly? Well, I think there's been some lies to be had in the lead generation space. We see a lot of lead generation ads, and let me just tell you a quick little secret about lead generation. I need you to lean in though. It all works, and it all works decently well. It's just the amount of time that you pour into it and really the amount of effort that you give each of your lead generation channels. So let's just break them down for a quick second here. So let's talk about like probably the most common or like where people get started in lead generation, which is normally going to be some sort of outbound or cold strategy, right? So maybe it's like email, maybe it's like LinkedIn outbound. We do a ton of LinkedIn outbound. I'm sure some of you listening to this have been hit with our messages on LinkedIn. We do quite a few of them, right? So on LinkedIn, it's or email, either one, okay? It's all about just consistency, right? You got to send a lot or casting a wide net. And one of the bigger misconceptions, and here's the thing, is like you can send like personalized first lines if you want to. I'm not a huge fan. I'm trying to cast the widest net possible because here's the thing about like cold outreach and cold in general is that people are either shopping or they're not shopping, right? So it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you personalize the first line or not. It's either people are going to be looking for an agency or a specific service, or they're not. So if you're going to do cold outbound, you just got to hit them with volume. It's got to be a lot. Like I'm talking like at least 100 a day in order for you to get some sort of traction. It's funny. One of our clients recently was running outbound, and he was like, "Yeah, just it's not working very well." I was like, "Pull up the stats. Like, show me what's going on the inside." And he goes on to tell me, "Yeah, like we only booked 11 calls from the outbound strategy." And I was like, "You guys booked 11 calls, and you don't feel like this is working?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah." And I was like, "Well, like, were they qualified?" And he goes, "Majority of them were. Yeah, like 9 out of the 11 were qualified." I was like, "Did you close any of them?" He's like, no, we didn't close them. Well, I don't think it's a leads problem. I think it's a sales problem, right? So thank you so much for listening to Daily Ops Boost. We really appreciate your attention on this podcast. Go follow me over on Instagram. We post a ton of video content over there that is going to be valuable to your agency operations. So head over there, go follow me. It'll take 2 seconds. Appreciate you. You got to be able to reverse engineer some of that. But with all that being said, is like, guys, like it does work. Like lead generation with cold, it does work. And I've never been a huge proponent of cold because of how people normally do it, right? They try to get like, really personalized with it. It's like, just go in for the ask, right? It's either a yes or no, and then you just move on to your next deal. It's really simple. Okay, so that's called outbound. Cast a wide net. Don't worry about customizing a first line or getting really in depth with it. Remember, people are either shopping or they're not shopping. And if they're not shopping, they're just going to give you a quick no. And if they are shopping, they'll book a call with you. That's essentially how it works. So don't feel like you need to like come up with this crazy strategy when it comes to outbound. Okay, so outbound, one of them. Second one, paid ads. Paid ads is one of those like kind of tricky things, right? You kind of need an ecosystem to surround paid ads. So if you guys don't have like a lot of like free resources and things to send people to have them opt in, so you can capture some sort of audience and start to nurture those a little bit more. Paid ads is a little bit more difficult. Like if you run like a very good VSL, if you are running a really strong funnel, okay, sure, like yeah, you could definitely get some book calls, but I think and if you pay attention to a lot of people that are winning specifically with paid ads right now, they have like a really strong sales team and a really good sales foundation surrounding their paid ads, like really they fish for a lot of opt-ins, right? So they might be looking for, they might be running paid ads for like a free resource, something like that, just getting people inside of their ecosystem that really don't have an intent on buying, but maybe down the road or later down the road, or maybe if their setting team reaches out to those people, they will eventually have the intent to buy, right? And what you could do is continue to nurture those people long term in order to turn them into higher paying clients or customers, right? So paid ads is one of those things where you got to have a little money too to spend on it. It's normally the last thing that I would recommend deploying as far as like strategy goes, because it does take a little bit of cash to deploy, a little bit of capital to deploy into paid ads for it to be really effective. I don't think a paid ad strategy where you're spending really under like 5K a month is just going to get you the return you're looking for. You need to have a decent amount of volume behind it in order to get enough qualified clients of like actual book calls and qualified prospects on your calendar to actually close. So you need to be able to put a little money after it, as well as have a good ecosystem around it as far as sales go, as far as good opt-in resources to be able to nurture those people long term, not just get an opt-in and then all of a sudden it's gone and we don't use that for anything, right? Because you're going to get a lot of people that opt in to like a VSL, but they don't necessarily book a call with you, right? And so if they do opt in and they don't book a call, well, you need a team to go and actually talk to those people, okay? So paid ads, one of the last things that I would normally do. And then the third one, and there's other lead gen resources as well. There's other lead gen opportunities, but the third one that we see is more on the organic content side, right? And I mean, this is a perfect example of like daily ops boost. This is what we consider market leader type content, right? We are putting out content that provides value to people in order to create that ecosystem to surround us of people that, one, trust us. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten like a really strong referral before. This is the best example I could possibly give you in this scenario. You've gotten a really good referral, right? It's the easiest close of your entire life, right? Because someone referred them into you and you already have that trust built. That's what organic content does for you, right? It builds an ecosystem around you. It gets people into your ecosystem, whether you know it or not. Like, people will watch this, people will listen to this. That's you. We're building a little bit of trust right now, right? It feels good, right? Like, you guys are inside. All right, we're building a little bit of trust, a little bit of rapport. You start to consume more and more content, and then eventually you're like, well, I wonder what it's like to work with that person. And eventually what happens is there's so much trust built there, and eventually when that call comes, and it's coming, by the way, I'm coming for you, all right? It's coming. What happens is that sales conversation is a lot easier. There's already trust built. They're like, yeah, I've been watching you for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Been watching the content, been applying, like, your free strategy's been working for us. So thanks. I appreciate it. But, if the free strategy is this good, how great is the paid stuff, right? What does it look like on the inside? So with that being said, like, those are like the 3 main lead gen strategies. And the truth is, guys, they all work, right? But here's the thing is, like, we either need to adjust our timeline, right? So with organic content, you have to have a really long timeline. I'm pretty sure like maybe like 20 people will watch this in total, which is totally fine. I've got a long timeline. I'll do this for the next 5 years. And if after 5 years it's not providing any fruit, okay, maybe I'll adjust my strategy. Okay? But I'm in it for the long term for organic content. Paid ads, got to have a good ecosystem, but also got to have a little money, right? Got to have a little bit of that capital to invest into it, because if you're doing really low spends, I just don't think you're going to get the quality, because it's very similar to cold of like, you do need some volume behind it, right? It's just the money that you put behind it is the volume. And then cold outbound, strictly volume. Okay. If you're going to do any type of cold outbound, you just got to send enough. Okay. Think very wide network casting. Of course, you want to test your scripts. You want to be able to test your outbound, but remember, like, we're sending a high volume, and we're just trying to get a book call because we're trying to get in front of enough people that actually have a problem that we can solve. And that's the point of cold. And that's it. Okay. That's the truth about lead generation. Don't let people steer you wrong. It all works. Okay. There's not one like magic bullet. It all takes a lot of work. It's all really hard until you finally crack it, and then it gets really easy all of a sudden. So keep at it. Keep utilizing your strategy. Make adjustments when needed, and keep building. Thank you so much for listening to Daily Ops Boost. We really appreciate your attention on this podcast. Go follow me over on Instagram. We post a ton of video content over there that is going to be valuable to your agency operations. So head over there, go follow me. It'll take 2 seconds. Appreciate you.